Hey everyone, today we're at the beautiful Chilliwack River this afternoon. We've been working at the Fraser Valley Trout Hatchery this morning during the meeting and some filming over there. So we thought we'd pop by the Chilliwack River since it's right next door for a few hours of steelhead fishing. Today I'm fishing with my good friend Chris and Lou, who are two very seasoned anglers for many years in Chilliwack River. So I'm just following them around because I'm still kind of a beginner when it comes to steelhead fishing. So let's see if we can get one. Yeah, I know. So you lost a fish up there, and Nick got one here 2 days ago. So I guess these fish could be anywhere, right?
Oh yeah. Well, the water's dropping here, so this is a side stream, and this is an ideal spot here. It all depends how good the entranceway is down below, and with the water levels dropping, the entranceway may not be too conducive for them to bring them up. And of course, they'll come up during the night. But
yeah, I was going to say so they move through during the night, and during the day they tend to stay at one spot. So so if you come back every day to the same spot, there might be a fish here, and might not. Right?
Yeah. The main thing is not to spend one spot too long, because I find that you get most of the fish on the Q drift. Sometimes, of course, when it gets a little brighter in the day, they'll move out of the tail out down there and come up and hide under these riffles here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and many times on the first lake when we come here, you always told me to fish in very shallow areas, you know, like you could be sitting in 2 feet of water or even less.
I've caught many right off here where it drops in, you know, 2 feet of water. The one that the last 2 mornings was the one that I landed, the one I lost. I mean, it was in 2 feet of water. So
So the point is, I guess, not to stand in water when you first arrive at the spot, right? And just stand back and.
Oh yeah, you don't want to stand too close. I mean, where we're standing here, one was where I was pointing out. He was probably both. I mean, fish, as we know, they're looking up, and they're
if they see the shadow, they get spooked. They're swimming right.
And the movement, and that's one thing. If you go in a spawning area where where the chum are spawning, and how any salmon, how nervous they are.
Yeah, that's right. So this week has been pretty good overall. I guess
well, it has been. I mean, the day that I lost the two here, Nick came in because they weren't getting anything down below, and he came up here and he hooked two. I hooked my two behind where other anglers have been. Nick hooked the two behind where I had fished. You know, if you get in an area like this, I mean, we've got a number of runs that you can fish, and you're better just to keep moving and working a circuit.
Yeah.
And I said the day that we got those fish, probably there was a little bit more color in the water, and so those fish could have been moving at any time.
Yeah. And you're saying the broodstock capturing program started last Friday, I think?
That's Friday, yeah.
Last Friday. And how many fish do they have at the hatchery now?
They have got, from the latest update when they came and picked that fish up that I got from another angler there, which was a doe, they have 5 does and 2 bucks.
Okay. And in total we need 35 fish for
something like that, around 70 fish, yeah. They may take a couple of extras.
Right. So 7 fish so far this week. Is that a pretty typical first week or pretty normal?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's once again, it's how many volunteer anglers that are out in the river. I know today we got Steve. He got that one the other day that we tubed just down below us here, and so of course he's working today. And it depends how many anglers that we got out on the water.
Right. And how many broodstock capture anglers are they usually?
I don't know exactly how many that they've gone out, but there's probably 15 or so. But I'm just guessing. Yeah. But anybody, the thing is, what we're doing, we're always watching around to see someone's got a fish on, and that the anglers get to know who the brood capture one are. They got a fish, and they're not too far away. I mean, we don't want them holding fish for 10-15 minutes till we get up there or anything like that.
And you can recognize the brood anglers by carrying.
that's the way that that's why I carry this tube like this. Some of the people don't like it hanging out there,
right.
But I do, because then people get to know it.
Right. And that tube is to hold the fish before the hatchery truck arrives, right?
Yeah.
And there's holes on both ends, so we can put the tube in the water, and I guess the water runs right through it, so the fish can swim safely.
Yeah, well, once they get in this darkened environment, you know, they become very docile.
Oh yes.
Of course, when the hatchery comes and picks them up, they get pretty. They'll be sitting in there for 50-20 minutes. They're pretty active there, but you know, that's all. You know, that's all it is there. And you know, you want it facing into the current. You know, the front of it, and make sure that it's, you know, mostly submerged. But once you get them in there, they're of course after playing, and they're a bit tired, but they're really very docile. But once you start to zip and they see the light there, they want to get back. Yes, and that's one of the tricky parts when you're doing the transfer. You got to be pretty careful, because they're pretty. You know, they're pretty spooky. Yesterday they had, I guess they had two there, and they were trying to transfer one in, and it got away on them. You know, so they lost it. Yeah. You know, but once we always when you're beaching the fish, you want to keep it in the water. Well, times you don't want it in thrashing around on top of the rocks or anything like that. So what we usually do is I tell the angler, leave the hook in till we get it in. You know, so we just, you know. Hopefully one day we're going to build a catch and show it going in, but anyway, for now, you know, you just hold it in like that, and slip them in. You got the zipper at both ends, and then just zip it up, and then we want to get it out in here, and we'll anchor it with a rock or tie it on something like that. You know? And I periodically, while I'm waiting for the hatchery truck to come, I go and check it off a while, because I don't want it. You know, you want to make sure that it's facing upstream. Well, not only that it's not on its side or something like that, because sometimes when it's a bit tired, it may get on its side. They recuperate pretty fast, and they lose very few up at the hatchery. You know, that's one of the things. We don't want to be wearing any gloves, because that's a no-no to do that, because that'll be taking the slime off, and then they have to sit in these condominiums up at the hatchery for a period of time till they ripen and ready to be spawned. So fungus could set in and stuff like that.
Diseases, fungus.
So you don't want them thrashing around on the rocks and knocking scales off. And even though a fish is pretty resilient, we have to, you know, treat it with respect and look after it. Yeah,
and same thing if you, not just for brood catching, but if you're catching well still and releasing them. Anyways, you need to have wet hands, no gloves. Keep the fish in the water.
And if you are taking it up for a picture, I know a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't be holding up, but if you do, I mean, take your picture over the wild fish, you know, and kneel down and, you know, have it in the water, and then just lift up and get your quick picture. You don't want to be holding it up
for a few seconds, right? So the fish is out of the water for a few seconds.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't think it's, you know, it's going to do any harm. Of course, if it's really ice cold and stuff like that, too. As I say, people. Over my years of fishing on this Vedder, probably 30 years, I've seen very few dead fish. And when we did that, as I've talked about before, when we'd done that radio tagging there, I forget what the percentage was, but a very high percentage of them spawned successfully, and we had a monitoring station down below, and lots of them went out. You know, 80% of them that went. You know.
Right. And that just shows catching these is a good conservation measure overall.
Oh yeah.
In angling.
Anyway, I think we should try to catch one.
Less talking and more fishing. See if we can get another one.